All right, so let's get into this Max B situation because there's a lot more going on here than just a song getting played. The headline is simple. Max B says he did not approve of a Jim Jones diss track being played during his show. That's the whole core of it. He's on stage doing what's supposed to be a celebration, a comeback, a moment for his own catalog and his fans. Then out of nowhere, a diss record aimed at Jim Jones comes on. And suddenly the whole room feels like it just time traveled back into old beef. From Max B's point of view, that's a problem on a few different levels. First, let's remember the history. Max and Jim have a long, messy, very public past. Mixtapes, money, contracts, crew politics, interviews, it all spilled out into the open. For a certain era of New York rap, Max B versus Jim Jones was a storyline by itself. Diss records flew, alliances shifted, and fans picked sides. That history is real, and nobody's pretending it didn't happen. But fast forward to now. Max is home, trying to get his footing, rebuild his career, and tap back into fans who've been chanting Free Max B for years. He's older, the industry is different, and the stakes are different. So when he says he didn't approve that diss track being played, what he's really saying is, I'm not trying to live in that chapter anymore. I came to do a show, not restart a war. We've got to talk about the DJ angle here too. A lot of times DJs think in terms of moments. What's going to make the crowd scream? What's going to go viral? So if they know the history between Max and Jim, they might think, yo, if I drop this diss record, fans are going to lose it. Phones are going to go up. Timelines are going to light up. But Max is the one whose name is on the flyer. It's his face, his energy, his responsibility when something shifts the vibe. When he says he didn't approve, he's drawing a boundary. Just because you're behind the decks doesn't mean you get to script the narrative of where I'm at in life. You also have to look at it from a business perspective. Beef is entertaining for fans, but it's messy for artists. If a diss track comes on at your show, even if you didn't ask for it, it can look like you co-signed that energy. People who weren't there don't see the nuance. They see a 10-second clip on social and it's, oh, Max is still dissing Jim. Maybe things are heating back up. That kind of rumor can close doors, scare off certain opportunities, and pull you back into a lane you're actively trying to get out of. What Max seems to be saying between the lines is, I'm not trying to go backwards, I'm trying to move forward. And that's a conversation artists don't always get enough credit for having. Growth doesn't erase what happened, but it changes what you choose to entertain. Let's talk about the energy in that room for a second. A show is a contract between an artist and the crowd. People pay money, book babysitters, get outfits ready, ride out to the venue, all because they want to experience the music they love in real time. Max was probably focused on giving them that wave energy, all the joints they've been waiting to hear live for years. Then a diss record comes on, and everything shifts. Suddenly, the story's not about the fans, or the performance, or the comeback. It's about two men who've already lived that chapter. That's why he's upset. It hijacks the night. It steals focus from the music and puts it on drama. There's also a respect piece here. Regardless of what happened in the past with Jim Jones, there's something to be said for not dragging someone's name into your show without being intentional about it. If Max wanted to address Jim, he could write a new record, speak on it in a verse, or say something on the mic. But that choice should be his, not something that gets triggered by a DJ trying to be spicy. And look, fans play a role in this too. We love a good storyline. We love the clips, the confrontations, the subliminals. It's easy to see a moment like that and go, Max back on his old wave, this what we need. But the reality is, he's a man who's been away from regular life for a long time. Coming home means dealing with paperwork, parole, family, finances, and a radically changed industry. The last thing he needs is people rooting for him to fall back into old habits and old tensions. It's also important to think about what approval really means in 2025. Artists are more aware than ever of brand, image, and how fast narratives spread. One bad clip can run longer than your whole set. If you're Max B and you fought for years just to get back to the stage, you want every second of that show to reflect where you are now, not just where you were back then. This situation is a reminder to everybody in the ecosystem, DJs, promoters, blogs, fans. that just because something is entertaining doesn't mean it's helpful for the artist. You can celebrate the catalog without pressing the button on records that reopen wounds. What I actually respect in this whole situation is that Max chose to speak on it clearly. Instead of leaning into the moment for clout, he pushed back and said, "Nah, I didn't approve that." That's him taking control of his own narrative. He's signaling to the industry, to his team, and to the fans, if it happens at my show, don't assume I'm with it unless you hear it from me. Going forward, what should happen? Simple: communication. DJs need to lock in with artists before the show on what's in bounds and what's out of bounds. Set lists, old records, unreleased joints, even certain features. All that should be cleared so there are no surprises that can blow up into something bigger than the night itself. And for Max B, this could actually be a turning point people remember, not because of the diss track, but because of the way he handled it. If he keeps making it clear that he's focused on music, on growth, on building something new, not recycling old beef, he can carve out a real second act, one built on the wave, not on war. At the end of the day, Max B says he didn't approve of a Jim Jones diss track playing during his show. Might sound like a small story, but underneath it, there's a bigger theme: an artist refusing to let old narratives define his new chapter. If you're rocking with breakdowns that look past the messy headline and get into what it really means for the artist, the culture, and the business, you're in the right place. Thank you for watching and tapping in. If you got value out of this, hit like. Drop your thoughts respectfully in the comments. Let me know how you feel about DJs playing old diss records at shows. And don't forget to subscribe to the Short Clips Podcast. We'll keep bringing you real talk on the stories everybody else is just reposting.